Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving live replays for today's card. And on today's show, our picks from the college football championship game. We finally reached the championship game here on January 19th, although I read that next year the championship game will be on January 29th. So that's insane. Interesting news there. But anyway, guys, today, picks from the Miami, Indiana game. Also picks from this NBA card at MLK Day. Happy there, the MLK Day out there to everybody. And of course, we'll have 9 games here from that association for today. Also picks from college basketball, a few on the NHL as well. So we ask for you guys to do is give us that like, that thumbs up. Greatly appreciate that. Really helps us build up our audience. We have 5 live shows on this channel that interact with you folks in the chat. So you want to definitely set notifications so you're alerted of all of our live shows here on the channel. And let's say hello to Chris. And we'll see if we can El Nino's coming a little later, maybe. We'll see. And then we'll get to the show. Chris, what's happening?
Not much. I only had that one play yesterday in the NFL, which was the Texans. And I guess C.J. Stroud just couldn't get it done. Texans couldn't get it done there. Seems to be the way with my NFL playoffs here lately. They're good for the most part, and then they show up to these games and they just don't. They fall apart. So I did that. Did have 2 touchdown scores from the last game of the night there, which was heartbreaking for the Bears. There was really pulling for them in the cold, which was crazy. But the Rams got that done in overtime, and we did sweep the NHL hit list. Got all 3 of those goal scores, so that was super nice there. End of the day after a rough couple of days there, but we're locked in and ready to get to today.
Let's do it. Yeah, 1-1 I missed on the Texans. Yeah, Stroud with the turnover situation there. Wow, I can't believe they fired the Buffalo coach that just came down. McDermott fired 5 AFC titles in 9 years. Wow. I don't know. I mean, it just I don't get it, man. If John Madden would be alive today, he'd be losing his mind because he always felt that it was stupid to fire coaches who take it very hard to make the playoffs in the NFL. It's a very hard sport. But anyway, we'll get to the games here. Miami and Indiana. In Miami, although it was raining like cats and dogs there yesterday. I saw videos from Miami, downpour, but no, it looks like zero precipitation, 64 degrees, 10-mile-per-hour wind here in Miami for this Miami-Indiana game. This line has moved considerably. Yesterday, I saw some 9s and from 8.5s and all the way down to 7.5. Right now is your line here, and also minus 103 on the 7.5. Will we hit a 7 in this game? Wow. Although DK is still at 8.5. So we'll see if some of the sharp beards over there, if they're buying back on that number, we'll see. Because we know a lot of sharp people have people betting for them at DraftKings. We know that. They don't hide the fact that they've got people out there betting for them. So you got to also look at DK. Sometimes it's sharp, but interesting to note they still have the 8.5 up. Everybody else here is at 7.5 here in this game there. So we'll get it started here with Chris.
Yeah, definitely think 7.5 is a good number there. I mean, very public here with Indiana. I mean, but they're really and truly the complete package there. I mean, they protect very well against the rush. Both teams do. Both teams protect very well against the rush. They're only allowing about 3 yards per carry. Both teams do that. But Indiana overall is just, I think, the way better team, and I think they've got a lot of good pass rush there. I think Carson Beck's probably in trouble there, but to get in and out of this, not to go full game there, I've got minus 4.5 now. It is at DK for 4.5 for the first half. But I think Indiana comes in here quick and gets it done in the first half and covers that number for us. So if you want to get in and out, take that. Lean to the full game with Indiana, 7.5. If you can get it, if we get a 7, fantastic. So watch that line there today. But I think Indiana is just a little bit more dominant and more complete package there.
Yeah, I kind of look at it the same way. I can only look at Indiana. I know they had that close one in that Big Ten title game, but these games are bunched together. It just seems like this Indiana coach with time, they're able to dissect their opponents pretty well. You look at the amount of time they had to buy, blow out a team. Another long layoff, blow out a team. Another long layoff here, looks like another blowout in my eyes. I just don't see it here. The issue I have here with this Miami team is their pass defense. Ole Miss was in that game. They were up late, and that was kind of what we call a coin flip situation. But when you look at the Hoosiers up and down their games here, they've won by 10 or greater in 12 of their 15 games. That Big Ten title game was a quick turnaround there. So I can only look at the Indiana side in this one. The Hurricanes' pass defense in their past two games, their past two playoff games, gave 564 yards, 7.6 yards per pass attempt. Miami faced no playoff teams in the regular season. In their two losses, the Hurricanes gave up 248 yards passing in Louisville, 365 to SMU. They gave up a chunk of yardage here against the pass here in these playoff games. Hoosiers, as we said, has just been too strong. Mendoza, in his two playoff games, 86% completion rate, 10.3 yards per pass attempt. That's pretty strong. And again, they've come in with a lot of rest for these games, and they're going to do the situation here as well. They're coming in with a lot of rest here. So I'll look here at Indiana in this spot, or I will continue on. Yeah, heartbroken there, Cal Dog. It's funny because I was talking to my mom yesterday. And Uncle was over there. He's 87 years old. He has never seen the Rams win a road playoff game in cold weather. From the 60s to the 70s to the 80s. This is the first time in his lifetime that he saw the Rams go on the road in a cold weather situation in a playoff game and win a game. If you go back and look at NFL films, you look at the history of the Rams, dating back to the 60s, they played Green Bay a lot of times in the 60s in cold weather in this time of the year lose. They played Minnesota in two big playoff games in the 70s. They lost. So it's been a lot of heartbreak for LA Rams in road cold playoff games. And this is the first time in his lifetime that it's happened. I mean, you go back to the history of the Rams moving from Cleveland to LA. They were never able to do it. And that's surprised. They didn't cover, though. They didn't cover. So if you were on the Bears, you got the money, no doubt. Whether it was 4.5 or the closing at 3.5, you got the money. And the way you got the money, Chris, on that Caleb Williams dropping back 30 yards to throw a short touchdown pass, that was insane at the end.
Yeah, he's definitely the reason they were the cardiac Bears this year. Because you think it's over, and then he finds Kmet in the end zone, but he's running all over he almost ran to the other end zone. I'm like, that's what I don't know. You almost come to expect, though, if he gets crazy like that, runs back that far, he's going to hit somebody in the end zone. He's just done it every single time, and even the announcers are like, he did it again, and it's hard to watch because you're just like, man, what in the world? But then at the same time, you're thinking the defenders, why aren't they just getting him? But I mean, it's a crazy situation to watch. And I think the heartbreaking part is that he tied up like that. And then of course he had the interception. So yeah, I don't know. It was a crazy season to watch them this year. I was really pulling for him.
Yeah, that was the one. As soon as I saw, because I had the 3.5, I had the Bears plus, right? So I'm thinking, go for two, because you know what I mean. It's going to land one either way. But of course, that's hindsight. Although in that kind of cold weather, you always wonder the extra points aren't automatic. So a thought came to my mind was to go for two because the Rams. I mean, think about the Rams defense just giving up a play like that. What's got to go through your head? That's got to maybe I don't know. I hate to do this because we're playing Monday morning quarterback, which I don't like to do. But before the play, did it come to your mind at all, Chris, whether or not to go for two, or what would you think there?
I really thought they were potentially going to try and just end it, right there. But I guess the coach is a little bit more conservative that way. Just going for the extra point there, take them to overtime. But yeah, I thought, well, you just go for two right here and just finish this off, and we can just move on, and everybody's heart can settle back down there. But I think even after that, I think they zoomed in on the Rams coach, even after he scrambled all over the place and made the touchdown pass, and he's just as much in shock as everybody watching it. That he made the play, and I guess his guys didn't get him, So, but yeah, I don't know. In those situations, of course, I'm a Lions fan, so Dan Campbell, he would have been like, we're gonna go for two, but yeah, just a little bit more conservative there. Took it to overtime, but I'd consider 2 points. Yeah.
Yeah, especially since Johnson has been going for third. He was been going for fourth down. They could have had field goal situation, but they just kept going. They got the touchdown on one of them. But I guess that's taking the Lions playbook. Just keep going for it there on third down. Maybe he's not just Ben Johnson's been aggressive all season. That's it, right? He's aggressive all season until he was supposed to be aggressive. Exactly, Solo, right? That's when you want to do it. End it right there. The team's in shock. The coaching staff's in shock, and now they have to defend a 2-point conversion. I think that I'd rather do that than go for try to win it in extra time. In the overtime period. But yeah, exactly. Bears should have gone for two. Yep. Yeah. This coach is aggressive. I think Solo hit it right on the nugget right there. Although there are some questions whether or not both defender and tight end were holding each other. They were both holding each other. And Kmet might have got a little push off there. Exactly. So interesting to note there on that Ram variant. Real good one. We'll see what we have here. I think I saw 1.5 in Seattle favored on the opener against Seattle there and Rams. And of course, Stidham at quarterback here against Denver. Interesting to note here, Chris, what came to mind here is how many people are just discounting Stidham and the Denver Broncos. Everybody's just assuming the Patriots are going to win this game. Do you feel the same way? I don't know. I think Stidham, as a serviceable quarterback, I think he can keep him in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'll keep him in the game. I think there's a lot of public overreaction. I looked at the futures last night for it, and I think the Patriots were plus 270. Broncos are all the way up to plus 1,100 to win the Super Bowl. There ultimately, but I mean, I think there's a lot of overreaction now when people don't know what to think. They think Bo Nix is out, and they wonder about this guy. But I mean, at the same time, the Patriots and Drake May, it's something to be reckoned with there. So, we can hope he keeps him in there, and it's a good one. I personally wouldn't mind seeing the Patriots take out everybody, but I think there's a lot of public overreaction right now with this news and everything coming down about Bo and discrediting this guy. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll do okay.
I think Denver is good enough to have a burst, pretty much what do you call the manager, a quarterback? They call him just a manager. I think there's a term they use here when you call it just to have just a manager up there. I think to stay within this game, especially at home. Open 6 now. We've seen the money come here on Denver. It came in New England 6. We're seeing now New England 5.5. We're seeing a 4.5 at Circa. They're probably thinking hey, we got a serviceable quarterback who's just a game manager. Maybe a game manager can do it and keep the Broncos in the game. I mean, let's face it. Nix is not a very accurate quarterback. He does a lot of his running. I think in that situation, they were in a lot of close games anyway. So you put a game manager in there. Maybe the Broncos can be competitive in this game. We'll have to wait and see. But I just think in this situation with the manager in there, you're getting 5 now. Although he lost the opener of 6. Rams open. Seattle open 2 here. It's now Seattle 3. Total 47. We bring in Al Ninos here. Al, what's going on? What's your thoughts here? We'll get your thoughts on the college game. Your thoughts here on these 2 matchups for the championship game in NFL. First thought.
We're already on those. Catching me off guard here, Tony.
Well, no, we're not. We're just since they're big games, we're not asking for picks. Just overall thought assessment. What you saw yesterday. What can you take in today? Do you think Denver can be competitive with Stidham? What do you think? Your thoughts overall from the games you saw yesterday? Moving in next.
The big news there is that Bo Nix injury. Obviously, some controversial calls over the weekend, but what's a big game without a couple of those, right? These days anymore. But yeah, it should be interesting. Obviously, Denver going to lean on that defense heavily. Probably lean on the run game early as well. So maybe an under there in the first half or something. It's a pretty small number. It's seeing the 40.5 there. Has it ticked up? It looks like it's ticked up. So sorry, I haven't seen the latest number. No, I'm still seeing 40.5. It is juiced though. So expect this number to keep moving up, but again, I'm probably leaning first half under in that one. And then Rams Seahawks should be a great matchup. Obviously, big home field advantage there might come into play. Looks like as you mentioned, that line move, probably agreeing with that, but again, at 3 or 3.5, it's going to be a completely different number, so we'll have to see where that number settles. And either way, I'm expecting a couple good games. And obviously, I was on the wrong side of the Patriots game. I was on the Texans there, and got to be impressed with what the Patriots did in that game. I guess obviously we touched a little bit on their strength of schedule during the season yesterday, and I thought obviously that was going to be a tougher test for them against the Texans, but they handled their business. So very impressive there, the Patriots. Am I ready to lay close to a touchdown with them? I guess you'll have to wait and see, but should be some good matchups. And honestly, these lines look pretty fair as of right now.
There you go from Elnia. So give us your thoughts here. Miami, Indiana here. We've seen Miami getting some money here yesterday because I saw 9s, 8.5s. It's down to Indiana now 7.5. And there's juice on the plus 7.5. So maybe we even see it come down to 7 at some point. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's headed towards a 7. So I guess if you like Indiana, you might want to wait for a better number at this point. But going to taking just a quick look at this total here. And again, not a particularly strong play. as Indiana has been really impressive, and they've been just rolling over teams lately. But I think this Miami defense can just slow them down enough to keep us just under this total. I mean, it's not a particularly strong play. Obviously, my stronger play is on the side, and you can check that out on the site. But small lean to the under for me in this game.
There from Al Nino. So I will continue on here on the Celtics Morning Show. We'll move on over to the NBA. We have a 9-game quad. We'll do 3 blocks of 3 here. We'll start here with the Hawks and Bucks. Note the start time here on MLK Day. We have a lot of day action here in a lot of the leagues today. Bucks and Hawks, this 1 Eastern time. We have the Hawks 2.5, total 231. Thunder and Cavs. Here we've got the Thunder 6.5, total 231.5. Clippers and Wizards. It's the Clippers 7 on the road, total 224.5. And we'll take a look at the injury report here from these games here. Again, as I said, note the start time. We have a lot of day action today in college basketball, NBA, as well as the NHL for today on MLK Day. Bucks and Hawks. We have just Prince out for Milwaukee. It's Porzingis, Versace out for Atlanta. Daniels is also questionable. Thunder and Cavs. No Hartenstein, no Topic. The good Jalen Williams is out for OKC. For the Cavs, we've got Garland, Livingston, Merrill, Strus out. It will be Wade. Will be probable. We go to the Clippers and Wizards. We have Bogdanovich, Jones, Kawhi out. Of course, we know Chris Paul will be leaving the team shortly here the next few days, I believe, when they can let him go. And on the Wizards side, no Coulibaly, no Vukcevic, Trae Young still out. And so we started off here with Chris.
You're looking at the Milwaukee Bucks and the Hawks here. Both teams on a 3-game losing streak here. In this situation, I'm going to look at the over. I don't think we see any defense played in this one. I think we're sitting at 231.5. I'll take the over there. Had to lean aside. I would take just the Hawks at home, but I think the better play there is the over. OKC and the Cavs. Jalen Williams to me is the good Jalen Williams as he's referred to, being out. That is to me a key component there. So I'll take the plus points there with the Cavs at home. On that one, and then the Clippers are just rolling along here. I mean, they're 5-1 in their last 6. The Wizards 1-5 in their last 6. So I think the Clippers come in here to Washington and get it done today with the 7.5.
Yeah, look at the Clippers here. We'll go on over to El Nino's.
I really like the Bucks early. I think this one kind of had a soft opener at 4.5. I kind of saw for a minute there. Obviously, opened up more widely at the 2.5, but really love the points at the 4.5. At this point, I'd probably just lean towards the Bucks money line. I know they haven't been playing great, but the Hawks have cooled down from whatever they were doing there when they went on a bit of a run as well. And at the end of the day, I think this is the type of game that Giannis just has to show up in and just control this game and you get the job done there. So at this point, leaning Bucks money line in that one. OKC Cavs, you might look at OKC laying single digits and think, yeah, great price. And it could very well be. They could very well come out and handle these Cavs like they have in 4 of the last 5 meetings they've won and covered, but they're laying much smaller numbers too now. Obviously, no Garland is a pretty big injury there for the Cavs. But a couple of those wins, those last 4 wins there in those last 5 games have come by one of them was a 3-point win and the other one an 8-point win. So I'm leaning towards the Cavs there with the points. Should be a good game. I wouldn't be shocked if they won this one outright either, but leaning Cavs with the points there. It's not going to be easy or anything, but that's where I'm leaning in that one. And Clippers, Wizards, yeah, interesting. No Leonard, still laying more than 2 possessions. I don't like laying more than 2 possessions often. Kind of leaning Clippers in this one to get the job done, though. Maybe Clippers to win both halves rather than late points, though. Should get plus money on that.
Yeah, from Al Nino's here. I'll tell you what you think of some of these games. Yeah, I'll look at taking the points here with Cleveland. This OKC team not covering spreads, framing the cover 6 of 8, poor 3-point shooting. Cavs have won and covered 3 of 4 good shooting. Look, OKC over the past 2 weeks, 31% from 3, but giving up 39% from beyond the arc. Cavs in really good shooting form over the past 2 weeks, 53% overall, 43% from three. I'll let Cleveland here plus the points. Yeah, I just want to touch this Wizards team. First home game after a road trip. Now you play in the afternoon. Wizards in really poor shooting form and very bad defensive form right now over the past couple of weeks. The Clippers have defended. I think they're going to once we hit the All-Star break, that's when post All-Star break, I think is when the Clippers fall apart. Because this team, once Harden got into the trade rumors, then you started to see the team improve. Well, you can't trade them after the trade deadline. So that's kind of how I'm going to look at it here with the Clippers. Take them until the trading deadline. Yeah, there. So those two that I like in that block. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. Middle block. Mavericks, Knicks. Knicks 10.5, total 230.5 there. Jazz and Spurs. It's the Spurs 16.5, total 240.5. Pacers and Sixers. It's the Sixers 8.5, total 227. We'll look at the injuries here in these games here. We've got let's see. Here we go. Dallas and the Knicks. It's Davis, Gafford, Irving, Russell, PJ out. Cooper Flag is questionable. For the Knicks, Brunson and Hart both questionable there. For Utah, San Antonio, it's Harkless, Markin and Nang out. Collier questionable. For Spurs, it's Vassell out. We go to Pacers and Sixers. It's Mathurin and Toppin out for Indiana. Embiid and George are both questionable. We started off with Chris.
Yeah, definitely looking at this Indy-Philly game here. Philadelphia is a home favorite, 5-8 against the spread there. Just not, they've covered the last two games here against Cleveland that they just played, and they're still at home. So I'll take the points there with the Pacers. I think they come in here and get that done. Slight lean to the Mavericks there, depending on that Josh Hart news. He's a big key component for me for this defense on the Knicks and just overall. So if he plays, we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, I'm going to take a slight lean to the Mavericks in that one. And then I know 240.5. We've seen bigger for the Jazz here, but the Spurs trending to the under lately. So I think we get under that total. I don't think we get over it.
There we go with Chris. We move on over to Al Ninos.
Yeah, Knicks, Mavs. Knicks, Mavs. Big spread they're laying there with a couple big question marks. But still lean to Knicks to get it done in both halves there again. A plus 110 I'm seeing, so I think that's worth a shot. And yeah, as far as the spread's concerned, probably a small lean the other way, but nothing too strong. Also ended up on, another way to look at these Knicks is maybe just take them in the first half rather than lay all these points on the full game. But anyways, tricky line there. I think laying, yeah, I don't lay double digits easily, so probably Knicks to win both halves there for me. Jazz, Spurs, another huge line here. Let me see what the line is on these Spurs. Not even going to bother trying to lay the minus 170 I'm seeing for them to win both halves there. So obviously they're expecting a big blowout here. I'll take a small lean towards the Jazz on the points here. I just can't lay all those points for the Spurs. And again, George and Embiid questionable. It was in the Pacers Sixers right throughout this block up.
Yep.
Tough game there. Tough game. Another one where I'd probably lean Sixers to win both halves, but not a very strong play on that one. Wish I could get a couple more points here with the Pacers, and maybe might just end up getting them by closer to tip-off. So I'll maybe wait and see if I can get a better price on the Pacers there.
There you go. From El Nito, say what I think about these games in this block. I'll take all those points with the Jazz. Why not? They've been shooting the ball well, 49% over their past 2 weeks. Give them all those points at 16.5. I'll do it. San Antonio over this period hitting just 43%, 32% from three, not hitting their threes or from the outside. So I'll look at the Jazz with all those points in that one. It's hard for me to lay the Knicks. Knicks have just been in a funk, and that's the problem with Mark Brown. Whenever the team gets in a rut, he just has a hard time getting them to turn around. Now you got player relation issue with him and Cat. We saw that the issue with him and De'Aaron Fox. He didn't do very well when he was the head coach of the Lakers. Again, I still don't like the coaching move here. Didn't like it. I'd rather have Tibbs in here. When you look here at this Mavericks team, they have been shooting the ball better over the last 2 weeks. You look at the Knicks over the past 2 weeks, 45% shooting, but they're giving up 39% from three. And The Knicks have missed the cover in 14 of 17. Yikes. That's the Knicks. Knicks missed the cover in 14 of 17. Poor shooting. I'll take Dallas in that spot. Yeah, I can only take the points with Indiana here. Of course, you got question marks in Embiid and George. I know Tyrese Maxey is good, but Philadelphia had those back-to-back losses here to Cleveland. Didn't really bounce back after that first loss. And looking here at this game, I'll look at the Pacers here getting the points. A little bit of a struggle the past 2 weeks from the Philly team here, shooting threes, but Indiana has been defending threes. I'll take the Pacers there. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. Close that NBA with these final three. Suns at Nets. Suns on the road, 8.5, total 216.5. Celtics and Pistons. Pistons 3 and 3.5, total 224. Close it out tonight with Heat and Warriors. Warriors 6. There's some 5.5s popping up now, total 239. We'll take a look at the injury report here from these games. Suns and Nets. Booker, Bouye, and Green are all questionable there. Their questionable status on Booker. Let's see what the story is on Booker. He's a key component there for Phoenix. And he was added to the report due to left ankle soreness. But he did play Saturday looking good there. So he came back from a little from an ankle issue on Saturday. Didn't seem to have any issue with it. Maybe it's precautionary to put him on the injury report. That's kind of how I'm reading it there with Booker. There with the Nets, we got Zaire Williams out. Highsmith, Michael Porter, and Powell have all been upgraded to probable. There was some questionable tags there, but Highsmith, Porter, Powell, Porter, the big key there. He's upgraded to probable there for the Nets. We go to Boston and Detroit. Minute and Tatum out. Pritchard and Boucher are questionable. Detroit comes in with a clean injury report. Heat and the Warriors. Hero, Rozier out. Jaquez, Mitchell are both probable. On the Warriors side, Seth Curry, and then Melton, Santos out. Green is probable. We go over to Chris.
Yeah, looking at this first one here, Phoenix and Brooklyn. Definitely watch that Booker news there. But regardless of that, I mean, Phoenix is 15-8 against the spread on the road. They're 6-0 as a road favorite, so it's very hard to fade them there. I would take Phoenix to come in here and take care of the Nets, no problem. Clean injury report on Detroit. Absolutely, give me them at home. There, if they're clean, clean injury report, then everybody should be firing tonight. Everybody should be going, so we should see some points in that one as well. But I'll take Detroit to cover at home, and then that last one, slight lean to Golden State there. They've covered their last three, so we'll take Golden State in that one. Just a slight lean, not put any money on that one.
Yeah, with Chris, move over to Al Ninos.
Yeah, definitely like the Celtics in this spot. I know that clean injury report with the Pistons at home might be a tricky spot, but I think Jaylen Brown can lead his team to a victory here, actually. So maybe a little shot on the money line as well, but take the points there with the Celtics and what should be a good one. And another pretty fun game here. Looks like it's setting up to be the Heat and Warriors. Warriors playing some pretty good basketball coming into this one, but yeah, again, small lean to the Heat actually for me. Again, nothing too strong here. I haven't bet it or anything, but if I were to bet it, I'd probably look at the Heat and the points on that one.
Yeah, with Al Ninos here, tell me anything about these games. Yeah, a healthy Detroit's a good Detroit. I'll take them here, Lane here against Boston. Who, again, we know they're without their superstar for a while, Tatum. They still hope they can come back as he's still showing up on the injury report there. But Peyton Pritchard is someone who's a key contributor off the bench, and he's questionable on the report today. So I'll look at Cade Cunningham and, of course, those good rebounders for the Pistons to get it done here. They covered 406 with really good defense. The Celtics over the past 2 weeks just hitting just over 45% shooting. And I'll look at Detroit in really good defensive form right now. Yeah, this Warrior team, they've been covering spreads, and I don't really trust Miami on the road. 7-13 this season on the road are the Miami Heat. I can only look at the Warriors in this sphere. They've woken up. I don't know what's going on here. I guess these guys don't want to get traded, so they're starting to play well here over the past 2 weeks, hitting 49%, 37% from three, and defending the three-point line very well. They've covered 5 of 6. They covered against the Hornets. They were the team that got the Hornets number there. I'll look at the Golden State Warriors in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. We'll move on over to college hoops. A lot of day action here. We'll do 2 blocks here in college basketball for today. A lot of small conference games in action here for this Monday. And so in block one, we are going to cover the games from 11 a.m. Eastern time. Yes, we got games starting early today, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll include let's see, what was I going to do here? Well, I forgot to remember the blocks here. What was I doing here? We were going to include, let's see, we do the 11 a.m. Eastern time, and then include where we're going to include the 5 Eastern. That's what we're going to do. That's right. So we include the 11 a.m. Eastern, include the 5 Eastern time games, and then we'll start here with Chris.
First one I'm looking at here, a bunch of small conferences here that I'm not completely familiar with, so I had to deep dive into a bunch of these. But Stonehill, St. Francis, I'm going to take St. Francis there. 3-2 against conference opponents there, so I think we'll take them today, trying to find the line there. Plus 1.5 is what I got with them. Trying to see when my Prairie View play comes into play here. I thought it was at 2. Let's see. Yeah, 3 o'clock. Okay, so Prairie View, Alcorn State. Alcorn State at a home underdog, 1-0. I'll take just a slight lean to Alcorn State in that one. And then the other two I've got are at the 7:30 blocks. We'll wait there.
All right, we'll move on over to El Ninos.
Yeah, not too much for me here. I was looking at Central Connecticut State. Now, this one had a very interesting line move. They opened up as the favorite. Got as far as 3.5-point dogs, if I'm not mistaken. 3.5-point dogs. Now it came back down a little bit. I'm still leaning Central Connecticut State. Obviously, that line move is a little worrisome, but I'm not going to try to worry. I'm going to try not to worry about it too much here, and just back Central Connecticut State. And until 5. Okay, so small lean there to Long Island as well over Lemoyne. Again, just think we're getting the better team here at a short price on the road. Just 6-6 on the road, and but I still think they can get the job done in that one. And that wraps it up for me in the early games.
All right, one early game for me. I'll go to Ivy. I'll take Yale and lay this big number against Columbia. Yale is first in defensive efficiency in the Ivy. They force turnovers, allow 29% from 3, 44% from 2-point distance. That's pretty good defense in the Ivy. They secure the ball. They make 58% from 2-point distance. Columbia is second to last in both offense and defensive efficiency in the Ivy League. They turn the ball over. They can't make threes. They lost and failed to cover 2 straight with poor 3-point shooting and giving up 51% shooting or greater in each of those games. I'll take Yale in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Morning Show. Close out college basketball with the final block. In the final block, we cover the games from 6 Eastern all the way to the final at 9 Eastern time. Notable game here. Here's your big conference game here. Providence and Marquette, with Marquette showing a favoritism here. 1 now from a pick'em, so that's been the move there. Total 166. That is about your only high-profile game from the major conferences today that I can see on this small conference board. So we get started here with Chris.
Yeah, so I'm looking at here. First one here, Stephen F. Austin, Nicholls State. Stephen F. Austin -2.5. Give me Steve there to take care of it. We'll take them 6-3 on the road. So we'll take Steve in that one. And then Northwest State, Houston Christian 139.5 is what I got for the total. These guys are not playing any defense at all, just letting everything go. So I think we get up and over that total. So give me the over in the Northwestern State Houston Christian game.
There we go here from Chris. We move on to El Ninos.
Yeah, taking a quick glance at this Providence Marquette game, and I'll take a small lean to the over in that one with both teams trending that way. Providence loving to push the pace too, so again with that line move on them, I guess it doesn't hurt for their case to dictate the pace in this one. Also been shooting the ball pretty well, so I'll take the over there. The other games I was looking at in this block were small lean to New Haven there over Chicago State. Chicago State just having a rough season there, just 1-4 at home, 2-16 overall. So not that New Haven's been great, just 2-8 on the road. But again, that's why it's not too strong a play, but still leaning New Haven on that one. And then I agree on Stephen F. Austin as well. I actually like that one quite a bit there. So I'll lay with Stephen F. Austin on that one.
There we go with Al Ninos here. One game I like here in the later slot. I'm going to take Montana, lay the number on the road against this Northern Arizona team that's been really bad. Man, it's just probably Northern Arizona enjoying the the forest out there too much. Can't see the trees. They're last in both offensive, defensive efficiency in the Big Sky. They do very bad in all key areas against the conference. 40% from three. They don't make their threes. They commit a lot of turnovers. Grizzlies have covered 4 of 5 with good defense. Northern Arizona over the past 2 weeks given 47% shooting, 39% from three. I'll look to late here on the road with Montana. All right, let's continue here on Tonight's morning show as we continue on here from college basketball over to the NHL board today. We have a big card for today. And what we do here, the morning shows, we have the Daily Dangle coming up here today with Rod and company at 1 Eastern. So we'll just ask the cappers here, just give us what you got. We'll have a complete, thorough rundown in hockey at 1 Eastern time. So hockey, give us what you got to Chris.
Of course, player props, what I give you guys for it. Just a couple quick ones here. Jack Quinn with the Sabres to get a point. That's at plus money. All these are at plus money. Chandler Stevenson and Colin Graff, and I will update these in the comments there, so you guys don't have to keep up with those three. But all those guys are plus money for points today, so I'll be updating those.
Yeah, here we go with Chris. Move on over to Alninos.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off here taking a shot at some big plus money. Now the only thing that worries me in this matchup here, I like the Sabres. But the thing about this matchup is that the home teams won the last 9 meetings. So that's the only thing keeping me up, making this a really strong play here on the Sabres. But just like the way they've been playing now, the Hurricanes are a very good team as well. But I think the value's on the Sabres in that one. Moving on down this list, let me see. Small lean to the Sharks as well. Again, just getting a nice plus price here. They've been playing some pretty good hockey. Another tough matchup on paper, but again, these Panthers still not 100% healthy. So I think there's a bit of value here on the Sharks, and it's worth taking a shot with them there. I think the Maple Leafs get the job done at home. Interesting matchup. Normally I would be backing the Wild here, but just the Leafs have been playing the better hockey coming into this one, so I'll back them to get the job done at home there. I like the Golden Knights over the Flyers. I mean, hate to talk anyone off the shot at big plus money, but again, my opinion here, just a small lean. I think just Golden Knights. Again, 2 teams going different directions here. The Flyers starting to rack up some losses, and the Knights coming in here streaking. So think they keep it rolling at home here. I'll take a -1. You could take the regulation player or the puck line here if you want to shot at some plus money. But I'm on the Golden Knights in that one. And yeah, Rangers been horrible. The Ducks just beat my Kings a couple times, but I got to lean to the Rangers in that one. Again, plus money here against this Ducks team, which they actually lost the last couple of meetings to these Ducks. But again, one was earlier this season when they're just horrible. And not that they've completely figured things out yet here, but I just don't see the Ducks stringing too many wins against these Rangers together. So I'll take a shot on the Rangers there to wrap things up.
There from Alaninas. Well, we got our first Bronco. Of course, it's Matt D, who's from Denver. So you know who's going to take Broncos there. No doubt about that. Yeah, again, like I said, they're good enough to win with a game manager. That's when you've got a team that's constructed like Denver, I think you could win with a game manager. So, or at least be competitive with the game, especially at home.
He doesn't have terrible numbers either, does he?
No.
So should be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just amazed how many people are just discounting over. Oh, Denver is going to get blown out. Patriots by 2 touchdowns. I've already seen these comments. I'm like, come on, dude, they're going on the road here. Takes Denver, and Denver's got a good defense. They got a pretty good offensive weapons there, and also too with Nix, who's more of a running style quarterback, not the most accurate quarterback. So maybe got a little more accuracy, but not much running, but more game management, less prone to turnovers, more conservative play calling. Grind out type of game. We'll see how it happens. I think that's what's got to be there in that one. All right, we got you through our sports coverage. Now it's time for our parlay peripheral segment where our covers giving a parlay team player prop game of the future. They make the call here. We start off with Chris.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple in the NBA today. We'll take the Suns with the points, take Detroit with the points, and take the Clippers with the points. And your goal scorer today, Martin Luther King Day here, we're going to take Martin Necas from the Avalanche to get us a goal today.
And there we go with Chris. Move on over to Al Ninos.
Yeah, happy MLK Day to everyone, by the way. I forgot to say that earlier. Didn't want to forget it later either, so let me get that out of the way. Happy MLK Day. And I'll go with the Bucks here. I'll take the Cavs and the Celtics.
All right, I'll go with Yale, lay the points here against Columbia, and I'll take also with it the Cavaliers plus the points with the Pistons minus the points. All right, we got you through our sports coverage and parlay purple segment. Now it's time to see what our cappers have for sale over at Tony Six. We just gave you our free plays, but if you want our best stuff, our best plays, our premium plays, the bets that the games that we'll have our money on, we head on over to TonySpix.com. That's where you'll find all of our premium plays. Also, we have best bets on the board as well. If you're looking for just that one game or two to fire on, we also have best bets that are on the board there for you guys to check out. And link in the description will get you right on over there to TonySpix.com. As we'll share the screen right now here and show you the site here up there. We'll pull it up there right now. You can see leaderboard showcasing top performers here in our industry. We'll start with Chris. See what Chris has for sale for today on this Monday. Chris, what you got?
Got you two plays out there. I got you one, of course, for the national championship game. It is a total, since I gave out a side and everything on the show today. I did put a total in there for the best bet. Phil, it's a great, a lot of backing on that one, and it's going to be an awesome game tonight. So I got one there, and I do have one for the NBA tonight. We're going to bounce back in this NBA. We're going to figure this thing out. Love the play there. So grab those up. Both are on the site there. Hop on some of the long term. We've got some more college basketball. You guys know I cover the SEC and have plays in that. I'll have all the NFL playoff coverage coming up here as well. And, we'll do that. And we're just hopefully waiting for baseball to get up here. I'll have you that once that comes into play. But hop on to the long term there with me and we'll get you the late team action in the NBA. We see these lines moving all the time, all these injuries. 2-for-1 cap. You guys see who's doing well. You see who's on the show, giving you out the picks, being consistent. So pair us up together. Let us go to work for you. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout. Save you the 15%, and we're going to keep trying to do well.
That's right, guys. Got with Chris over at Tony's Picks. You can see best bets on the board right now with Chris. Remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guarantee. They must enter a profit amount purchased will be credited back to your account for site credits. That's profit guarantee. Get on with Chris over at Tony's Picks. But you guys like that 7-day pass here to start the week. Here, get all of Chris's plays here for the 7 days. And that will also include the NFL Championship Sunday, right? Because Monday through Sunday, we'll get you the NFL as well. When you get that 7-day pass, we'll get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks. All right, let's take a look, see what Al Ninos has for sale right now over at Tony's Picks right now. Al's been on a tear on the leaderboards right now. 1,028 units of profit. Last 60 days has been hot. 7 days, 24 hours. Green across the screen for Al Ninos. Al, what you got for sale?
Yeah, so far it's just my my play on the national championship there in college football. If you want to check that out, there's definitely one play I'm absolutely loving in the NHL, which will be going up soon or maybe later, but it will be up there. And actually another one I kind of like quite a bit, which I did give out here. So may have got a freemium, but could end up on the premium side as well. So if you want to see how much I like that one, I guess is a good time to grab a long-term pass. Never a bad time. A long-term 2-for-1 capper pass. Pair me up with your favorite capper and get all those Steam plays emailed right to you.
That's right, guys. Got more Al Ninos over at Tony Six play up there from the National Championship from Al Ninos. Of course, get the long trip subscriptions. Remember, our member plays are in the system by 11 a.m. Eastern time, but we continue to handicap throughout the day and night. Looking for the winners throughout the betting cycle. We find the late winners. We put them in the system between 10 minutes and 2 hours for game time. Those are late Steam plays. They're also tracked as late Steam there and are emailed right to your inbox using the email you use when you sign up for the service. Late Steam feature available here at TonySpix.com. Available nowhere else I see anywhere. So get on board here, Al Ninos at Tony's Picks, promo code Tony T. We'll save you that 15% off. I'll have the best bet for you on the board right now. So get on board with me and match you up with your favorite capper. 2-for-1 capper promotion. So go ahead and get signed up. All our plays are documented winners. Also with write-ups. Once the games are graded, you can go back and look at all the write-ups for all of our cappers here on their pages there as we have the great games graded for you at the end of the game. Just to give you an example here, you want to check out Chris and Al Ninos' page. Go over to the write-up section and just hit the write-ups, and all the write-ups are there next to the picks. So you can see them on all of our for every capper here with write-ups available. So you want to see how the cappers get to the games. Once they're graded, you see the write-ups there next to it. Fully transparent write-ups here at Tony'sPicks.com premium page. All right, guys, we're with you here every day here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. We're also here you guys definitely want to subscribe to our channel. Just go to Tony's Picks here on the channel here on YouTube. Click the link. That'll take you right to our homepage. You want to navigate Tony's Picks on the homepage. It's much easier. We load a lot of content on our channel, so we have it nice and organized for you, but you got to make sure you hit that homepage when you get to when you land on our page, because there you'll see our live pages up there. We'll stream for you there. Also, my compilation videos are up there. Got you covered with the deep dives from NBA and more. The big game for tonight in college football. Chris's hit list is up there for you right now. NHL prop list is up, so check that out for you on the channel. Playlist featuring the NFL, college football, as well as NBA up there for you as well. And, of course, college basketball playlist right now. We got games covered for you there from college hoops. We've got also Ramon in there with lots of coverage for you from the college basketball. I think he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games up there. Alessandro gave you a 10-pack today from college basketball. So that's up on the board right now. Check out these playlists. NHL as well. Complete rundown on the board here from Ramon, as well as from Alessandro. Gave you the 6-game card. We're getting fights back next week, right? So we'll have the fight videos for you up there as well. And our shorts are up there for you right now. We got all the games in short. We also clip them for you there as well. So a lot of great content over on the Tony Picks YouTube channel. Of course, Chris, you're a big part of it because that hit list has been very popular.
It's been super popular on there. I appreciate everybody's support on that. We did sweep yesterday. Like I said at the beginning of the show, got all 3 goal scorers there yesterday. That was nice. I think somebody commented they parlayed them all together. I don't recommend that to you guys. Yeah, I think it was like plus 1680 to parlay them all 3 together, from my understanding, after talking to a few people. But I don't know. I tell you guys to take them straight every time on the video. But if you want to parlay them, it's your money. Chase that generational wealth. But anyway, you got 5 today, so be careful with that. But they all look amazing, and I will be updating a few that I didn't have data on last night. Appreciate all. There's a lot of comments already coming into this morning's hit list. I will be getting back to you as quickly as possible. And yeah, we're just going to keep, as long as I've got data, you guys will have a video. I'm getting back into points. I've slacked off a couple days because I just wasn't reading them right and everything, but I've got a new system I'm now looking at here, so we'll definitely be adding points to that as well with the goal scores. So you have a little bit extra there, and we'll just keep putting it out, and I appreciate you guys.
That's right, guys. Check out the hit list with Chris. You can also search the hit list, just copy and paste the playlist, and you can listen to them in podcast format as well here on with the Tony Picks Media as well. Of course, El Nino, we see some on-demand videos from you, but you're also here, big picture here on the morning shows, and we see on the reels as well.
Yeah, definitely. Mostly morning shows lately, so keep tuning in bright and early. But again, you can always catch the replay if you missed this live, and obviously, I always suggest getting on the live show and trying to get the best of these numbers. But again, tons of other great content there at Tony's Picks YouTube channel, so make sure you go and check all that out.
That's right, guys. Check it out here on the YouTube channel here. Tony's Picks, the live shows here, and the reels that we put together here as well. From the clips from the shows, you can check them out as well. Or again, you guys can check out our live tab, replays of all of our live shows, including the morning show. We have Night Moves with Ramon and DeAndre, 3 a.m. Eastern time. Complete rundown of the entire card, almost a 2-hour show here for you guys. Complete thorough rundown with Ramon and DeAndre on Night Moves. Look ahead show with Alessandro. We get this every day here, midnight Eastern time. Get ahead of the line moves with Alessandro on the Look Ahead show. There, of course, all these shows are chat interact with Alessandro as well in the chat there. We got our morning show, the Daily Dangle here. Rod has the hockey show coming up here at 1 p.m. Eastern time. A complete rundown on the hockey with Ramon and with Rod and company there on the Daily Dangle. Check that out, if you will. So 5 live shows on our channel. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Greatly appreciate that. You guys are always welcome on every one of those shows. Every 5 shows, you guys can interact with our show hosts and cappers using the live chat there. So they're all enabled there. So check it out, guys. Like, subscribe, set notifications. It is greatly appreciated. Appreciate everybody here in the chat here. It's all well contributing here on the show with you here every day, 9:30 a.m. Each time. It is the Tony Picks Morning Show. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks to everybody here in the chat today for you guys for your input as well. Guys like Cal Dog, have a great one. Better luck next year here for those Bears. Looks like Caleb Williams in a pretty good show. They're pretty good. We got Chris back in here.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I went away. I don't know.
Went away. Got frozen there. All right. And there, of course, I man Rich here with the Wizards. Yeah, Wizards can be a sneaky team. They either win straight up or they lose by 20. So that's always the trick with the Wizards. You got to figure out when they win, they're going to win. They don't lose in cover. That's how they do it. Thank you to Andrew as well. Chris, absolutely there. Keith in there as well. Appreciate you guys' contributions in the chat today. Ninos, yes, he does. He does. You see, it's all documented on the report there, guys. Ninos does win consistently. You see it there. And of course, we've got the show is over. Yeah, go back and watch the replay. We started at 9:30 Eastern time there, so check it out there on the show. All right, guys, we're back here with you tomorrow live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Like, subscribe. Any closing thoughts before we close it out?
Well, happy MLK Day. I didn't get to say that, but happy MLK Day. Be kind to one another and make it a winning day.
Yeah, be kind, Keith. But happy MLK Day. Good luck.
There we go, guys. That's going to do it for you here on the show. We're going to wake up out of guys. You guys make it a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony This Morning Show.